honestly didn't know you had a YouTube channel, so I'll be subscribing.
You mean Yang, right? Yeah, obviously
No,
Yang.
I mean you. I didn't know you had a YouTube channel. Like, you know, I don't follow you on YouTube.
What's up, guys? Welcome to podcast number 19, X Sky King, X Weeb King with 3 grills. I'll let them introduce themselves, JYangs, Irreta, and Fartpancakes. Starting with that order, and take us off.
Yo, what up, guys? This is JYangs here. Alright, you guys can call me Yang. Most of you guys know me as Yang. I am the legendary eagle who have done the dance. Okay, fine, I'm also known as Cyclonejokex, right? But I recently rebranded, so I'm JYang now, guys. And I'm Penshui's uncle. Penshui is my nephew, so yeah.
Oh shit.
Next.
Oh,
Alright, Irreta.
Oh, it's me. Okay. Hi,
Okay.
I'm Irreta, otherwise known as Cute E-Girl from Whale. You can go to my chat, twitch.tv/Irreta. I stream Guild Wars sometimes, not that regularly all the time, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Yang is also my uncle.
And Fartpancakes.
Well, I'm Fartpancakes. I'm under twitch.tv/Fartpancakes. I recently got adopted into the Whale Guild, and I'm now YD's new stepchild, along with Irreta and JYang's new step sibling. What's up, guys?
I didn't realize before. This is literally a X Sky King, X Whale Guild podcast. Also, that's your latest stepdaughter, dude. YD is literally adopting everyone in Epic 7 community.
Yep.
He's the best dad ever.
Actually,
So
the best
kind
dad.
and giving.
And I have to be
The
honest.
one and only dad.
When I type out your name, Fartpancakes, it's not much. But then when I say it, it feels a little more strange. All right, let's get started here. So, we'll just start off with what's new. And your thoughts about it. So we'll just start with the newest thing that we know about, which is limited units group discussion. What are your thoughts about it? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? And for the people who don't know how it works, right, this is coming out next week, and it's a triple banner for limited units, which is Landy, DN, Cerise. And the way it works is, corrected by Irreta for me, because I actually read it wrong, but essentially, you do summons. Once you hit 120 summons, you get enough coins that you can actually choose a character. So, all right, what are your guys' thoughts? And what do you feel about it? Like, considering some of you, I think, actually, okay, wait, question first. Who here has all 3 limiteds?
You mean
Me.
I?
I have Landy.
I've got everything.
I
I just
have
need
2 of
the
them.
artifact.
Oh, okay, this is perfect then. Okay, this is actually perfect. So we have one person that has all of them, one that has 2, and one that has 1. So we get all 3 perspectives of what your thoughts are about the system. So let's start with the person who has 3. Yang, what do you feel about this? Like, because did you want any artifacts or anything? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, they coming out with this coin system and abandoning the PD system. I think that's a great idea. Like, no matter what you summon, right, you're still gonna get a coin. So even if you summon characters, the 5 stars, you're actually still getting coins. So in a way, your PD is not getting refreshed. Right? It's a game for people who are summoning. But provided that if they're new players, they started off late, like 6 months into the game, they wouldn't have any of these 3 limited heroes. So for them, it might be a big burden. But Smilegate did the correct thing to lessen the burden in a way. They don't have to spend as much as us, right? Those that already got the units, right? And also allowing us to choose to buy the artifact as well. Yo, that's so good. Like, especially for people like me, right? I've been summoning for the guiding light during service banner. I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Right. Got 2 PD, couldn't get it, so I gave up. So them introducing this coin system, I really like it. I really agree with it.
Okay, that's good. Since we talked about this,
Go in order.
yeah, let's go down in order, and then we'll talk about the none part, since there's none of us here that have none of them. But yeah, let's have you go, Irreta. What do you think?
Okay. Well, from my perspective, I don't think it's that great for me, but like I
Mhm.
would say overall it's probably healthier, especially for newer players because for example, let's say you don't have any of the characters and then you get Landy and 40, then you can still summon to 120 and then get another character. So you're getting like two for the price of one or however many you end up getting. But from my perspective, it's because I wasn't sure if it was like 1% per character or 1% cumulative between the three characters,
Mhm.
but it is like between all three. So essentially, it's like a 0.33% chance per character.
Mhm.
And so I'm only missing DN, and I was looking forward to rolling for her, but now it's like I would probably have to go all the way to the pity if I wanted DN because the chances of getting her even within 120 are really low.
Mhm.
Whereas like the chance of getting one of the three is I might get something else, but like I don't really want the other two characters, and I don't think going to pity and getting one of the other characters is really worth it.
Mm.
So
That's fair because so yeah, that was something that you brought up when we were talking about the topics. It's a fair point where like if it was a focused banner, right, and you get lucky, you know you're getting that character,
mhm.
right? So let's say you're pulling on a focused banner, you get lucky, you get it within 20, then you get DN, you're done, you can stop. But then with this, if you're unlucky, and you happen to hit that chance of getting another character that you already have, that means you're forced to go towards pity now, or hoping you get it before pity still, to get it, right? So that's one of the downsides to this system is for the people who have two, I feel like.
That's
okay.
true. That's true.
And all right, Fartpancakes, what do you think?
In my situation, I don't see any cons about this banner, cause like for me, I only have Landy, right? But if I pull extra Landies, it's not the worst thing, cause my Landy is already triple S. It wasn't even on purpose. They just threw a bunch of Landies at me. So if I get more, it's just more coins. But my real goal is I'm missing Cerise and I'm missing Deanne, and Cerise is like so freaking annoying because she's in every single defense, everyone's RTA drafts, etc. So now's my chance to get her. And then Guiding Light is like really big right now, especially for people that want to build Landy.
Yeah.
So for Landy, it's either Guiding Light or Proof of Valor.
Yep.
So overall, I think this banner has a lot of great things in it that anyone can pull, especially for the people that didn't start in early and they didn't really have any reruns of Dian and Cerise. So now's the chance for people to finally get them. And the fact that there's not really like a actual pity on this banner that like resets, because when you pull for somebody, it resets at the 120 again.
Yeah.
But instead, you can just keep going, and at least you get the coins. But no matter what, you just pull the crap out of the banner, and whatever you get, you just get.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay. So yeah. So the way I see it here is I think for like most people, it's like a pro in almost every circumstance. I think the two cases here that probably are not the best is for people like Terry who have two and you're only going for one, or for the people who want to go for specific characters. Let's say, because like some people were back then, right? Let's say they have, they already have the DN triple S, they have the Cerise triple S, right? Then, they're just missing Landy triple S. Then it's very hard to, focus directly on that one unit. So it's like very small circumstances where this might not be the best, but I think this is probably the best for new players. I guess I don't know if you guys agree with that part. People who don't have a single one of these.
Oh, for sure. And
I'm talking like, like we had new people start playing the game that are, a little bit more high profile, which is like Dyrus, I'm a cutie pie, right? Lakari. Especially to these three people, when they just started, they're getting more people into the game too. And then with this coming out, I think there's actually really good timing because people who missed out on these units, they get to pull back on them again now, right? Like, I think this is actually really good timing for this whole situation. Yeah.
Another thing about the older players that already have these units and they're just like pulling for like one or two specific things, I think the pity system is also beneficial because each pull will give you a coin, and then after like the certain amount of pities that you get, you can basically use the coins to buy a specific thing. And it's good that you have a chance to pick who you want, unlike other gachas, like say Genshin Impact, when you're pulling on a specific banner and you are trying to get, the featured unit of that banner, but then you hit the pity and then you get cucked and you get somebody else for the pity. So at least with this coin system, you can choose the specific unit that you want.
I think I think comparing, that's a good comparison. Genshin, I can imagine. Yeah, anyone who's played Genshin in chat probably got cucked by the banner before. You get the wrong thing off banner, you don't have enough, to grab the actual character kind of thing, right? So we can all say that's happened to us before, I imagine. But aside from that, actually maybe I'll save that. We'll save that for the collab discussion. I'll group it into there and we'll talk about that. Because Terry brought up something that we should talk about later. All right, that's pretty good. Second topic. Let's move on. This one's a bit weird. So I know Yang does a lot of RTA. I know Irreta and Fartpancakes do RTA here and there, not as much. So it's actually a good mix here. So thoughts on the RTA shop, right? We talked about this. I talked about this in previous podcasts. And it's actually kind of nice because I want to know the opinion on people who don't like doing RTA as much, what their thoughts are too. But the thing is, like, it's gonna be similar to like a conquest point shop, right? What do you feel about having an RTA shop, right? Being, maybe capped with a week, right? So each week you do so many number of RTA games to get a certain amount of points that you can use now for the shop. Granted, the one downside to this, it does force people who don't like doing RTA to do RTA, right? So let's start with Yang first. Someone who does like doing RTA, what are your thoughts? I mean, yeah, what do you feel about that?
Well, definitely for people like, us, me, who, enjoy RTA a lot, definitely it's going to be a pros more than a con, right? More free reward. Who's going to say no to more free reward? But then thinking about for the balance of the game, like, I can say like maybe 30% of the community actually don't enjoy playing RTA. So if they were to introduce a shop, definitely there will be players that are going to lose out a lot in terms if like they put energy or like, goal or like maybe, something that help people to improve the game. People are going to start losing out because of this, one coin shop thing. So I'm on the fence actually for this. Like, I'm not sure if it's.
Well, let's say from your perspective specifically, like from your perspective specifically, like would you like it as someone who does RTA a lot? I would imagine.
Oh, for me,
yeah.
Open the shop, right? Open the shop. I welcome free stuff. I'm Asian, right? I don't say no to free stuff. Open it, right? Just open it.
Yeah. Actually, let me see. There's a good amount of people in chat from YDCB's radio, which is actually kind of good. I'm gonna set up a poll real quickly. Just to know, just chat itself, right? Would you guys like an RTA shop? So I imagine there are people in chat who don't like doing RTA, but I actually want to know what people's thoughts are with that, and then I'll put a timer here for people to vote, to see just what a general thought of the chat is, so we can get a gauge about this. Obviously, this is a very small percentage of the E7 community, but yeah. Okay, and then what about you guys? Irreta, Fartpancakes, what do you do? Actually, so Fartpancakes, you do RTA an okay amount. Irreta, I feel like you don't touch RTA at all, maybe?
I played a lot of RTA the first 2 seasons. I think I played the most the first season, because I was more like on the climb, a little bit newer, and so it was harder to get to like master to get the skin. And then last season I played till I was champion, and then I just kind of camped there. And then right now I'm just like, if I farmed you in gold or master, I'm really sorry, but I'm just gonna turbo camp there for the easy dubs. Like literally I'm just like turbo farming gold players. It's like the best. So that's what I'm currently doing. But I would say like my interest in RTA though over the seasons has gone down. So I play less than I did last season and even less than the season before.
Okay. So in your perspective, would you want an RTA shop? Like, as someone who's lost a bit of interest in RTA, would that, you know, pique your interest again? Or, you know, like, would you feel forced, but does it feel like a chore, a hassle? Like, what do you feel like it would be like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I wanted to kind of go off of that and ask you, do you think it would be like Arena where you get just like flat out sky stones in addition to like a shop currency, or do you just mean in exchange for like a shop
I think it would
currency?
just be currency that you could exchange for stuff. So like, for example, you know, maybe like a weekly amount of charms you can exchange. Maybe this could be a method they could put in the RTA skins too, you know, because people are asking for the RTA skins. So instead of skin tickets, they could do this, you know, to push people to do RTA unless they want to, you know, put in skin. Honestly, I mean, they need to do more stuff with skins anyways, but like, so stuff like that, right? So more stuff with charms because people are missing on charms.
Actually, that's a good point. That's a good point. Like, you know, they like people want the Specty skin, which is actually exclusive to people who do RTA.
Yeah.
So in order for them to get it, instead of buying it with like the voucher, like you say, yeah, make them do RTA, right? So they farm this currency to buy it.
Yeah. Like, because that's the thing. Because someone brought up a good point earlier. I think it was Hainan guy or something like that. He said that having this system might also push out the stronger players. You know, like there's like champion players who are lurking, to at least push them out of bronze because they have to do a bit of RTA. You know, like maybe wins will net you more points, losses will only net you a little bit less. So that way, you know, some people might want to. It's, I guess I hate to say this, but to some people they might lose out if they're, you know, they don't like doing RTA. But I don't know if this would be better, right? Like I've talked about this a lot. Maybe the benefit to this will outweigh the losses for some people, kind of thing, right? Because if people don't like doing RTA anyways, they're not going to do RTA. People who are on the fence, I feel like this would push people on the fence to do RTA. We're okay with it, kind of thing. That's my thoughts. But aside from that, Fartpancakes, what do you think? I don't know.
So out of everyone here, I'm like relatively new since I only started playing last year. And originally when I started the game, I only was interested in being a waifu collector and doing all the PvE stuff. And then I found out that Spectre Tenebria had like a really nice skin. And the only way
can I
to
just
get
say something real quick? Why do you think he says if you lose RTA, you lose 20k gold and your opponent wins 20k? Why do you see? I don't know if you want to say that because I feel like for your stream you're just gonna get constantly sniped.
You're gonna get farmed, Whitey.
You're gonna get farmed by the people who know, dude.
Dude, he's just setting himself up to be BM'd by Sky.
You already get farmed, like sniped by people, not farmed. Okay, I would say you counter farm a good amount of people, but then that means you're gonna bring out all the people who think they can farm you, and you're just gonna get sniped even more.
True.
Dude, that seems so scary. Sorry, what were you saying? What about the skin, Spectre? Sorry.
Okay, it's all good. So I only got into doing RTA because I was like, yo, these skins look nice. I want this skin too. But like as a newer player, I didn't think I was gonna make it. And then last season they announced that they were like ending the season, and I was like, you know what? Let's limit test, see where we go. And then in the last 2 weeks, grinded just to get the skin. I don't even have Flitica, but I'm like, hey, at least I have a skin now. And it's like one of those exclusive things that you kind of, you know, it's like a little trophy you get to let sit in your account that, you know, if you don't get the skin, then you don't get the skin. So it's kind of like when you play ranked in other games, like League of Legends, for example. You play for that season, you get to a certain rank, and then they give you that skin for that season, and you can't get that skin for like the future seasons. You just have to play for that season. So I think that's like a good incentive to get people to play RTA is like, if you want this skin, you know, it shows that you ranked up to this point to get this skin. And then if they were to open an RTA shop, like Yang said, I'm not opposed to it if it's more free stuff. I just think it shouldn't be like too overboard to where like it kind of ruins the balance. Like if they just add skins, it's not gonna like give
kill anything.
people an inherent advantage over
Yeah.
others, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like with the League things, I haven't played League in so long, but people in chat, League of Legends, those I remember back then when I played, like once you hit gold 5 or something, right? You get like
gold
that.
4 now.
Sorry.
Anyways.
Sorry. So for sweaty people, gold 4 now, right? Like you get that skin. That skin you can't buy, right? And you can never get that again. Is that?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Actually, that's a good point. Like she pointed out, like
Mhm.
if they were to introduce the skin into like a shop, then
It loses a
kinda,
bit
like,
of value.
count? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like people wouldn't like play RTA just for the skin because they can buy it later. Why would they want to do RTA, right? So yeah, that's a good point.
It's a good point actually. Yeah, like having an exclusive skin might be nice. Where like if you hit a certain rank, if you hit like a certain rank, maybe you get a skin for something. Yeah, making it more exclusive might be already a nice benefit for people. Because right now we don't know whether skins are exclusive. They said they'll be in shop, but they haven't come out for a long time yet, so we don't know when. So I feel like making a skin exclusive would be nice if they just straight up tell us, right? This skin will be exclusive. If you reach this rank, you can get it. That it doesn't hurt people, and you know, like if you don't get the skin, it's, you know, unfortunate, but it doesn't kill like the the progression, right? It's not like you're getting benefits out of that. And
exactly.
That's actually one thing Careless brings up. Need masters to obtain. So here's the thing. What if they made the skins like League where depending on your rank, the skins will look slightly different variants that you can still see that, like, you know,
like a chroma.
I guess like, yeah, like maybe like a little bit of extra stuff on there that shows off, you know, what rank you were with the skin itself, or like a different chroma, depending on your rank.
Bronze, you get a bronze FCC.
She's just the brown color. Oh god.
Dude,
so everyone gets the skin. It's just yours is colored in bronze, and you can just flash that to everyone.
Yeah, it's because your shit like, color, right?
Like,
your
look,
shit rank.
I was bronze. That's kind of interesting.
Well, going off the chromas thing, I mean, if they open an RTA shop, right, and then you can get some more stuff out of it, but you don't want to ruin the balance of the game. So what if they just, you know, had the exclusive skin that you get for reaching a certain rank, and then the RTA shop was selling chromas, but it's for the regular skins that you can already get in the shop right now for like the regular RGB units, because the RTA skins are for the ML5 stars, but the skin shop right now is just for the RGB units. So instead, if they have an RTA shop, they could just sell chromas for the regular RGB units that people can get anytime. But they can't get the chromas unless they play RTA and farm up the points to get it.
That's actually not a bad idea. That'd be cool.
Good. That's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's not that hard for them to make a chroma, honestly. It's just recoloring, and I think they could make the point value reasonably high. And if you end up not getting to that point value, you should still be able to exchange for charms or something of smaller value too. So everyone could just win out on that.
Yeah, that's a fair point actually. That actually doesn't sound too bad. I'm not gonna lie. Like the chroma thing is a smart idea. I feel like with the current skins, I feel like they haven't been taking advantage of their skins enough, because like it's like a game right now, especially right now. I've said this so many times. Right now, the game is at like the peak, I would say, of a lot of the gacha games because of the animations. Like it's still on top of the ladders because of that. Not to mention, because of some of the bigger streamers playing it right now, it makes this, there's a lot more exposure to the game right now, and they really have to take advantage of that. So Karai mentions that there's the problem with that is the S3 animations. I feel like the S3 animations, they won't change too much per se, but they do have to go into the animation to recolor the skin, I think. I wonder if they don't recolor the animation and it's just a sprite, if that would be okay. I wonder. If like for a chroma skin per se, but yeah, it makes me wonder what they could do about that, because like, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a good point to bring up. Maybe I don't know how much work, I'm not into like graphic design or whatnot, right? So I don't know how much work it's gonna go into, you know, recoloring the animation itself, right? I would want to know something like that, but it would look a little scuffed.
it doesn't have to be that many, you know what I mean? Like, it
Mhm.
doesn't have to be like there are 10 options. It could just be like 1 or 2 options a season and
Mhm.
have a reasonably high point value where if you're like a normie playing and stuck in gold or something because I'm gatekeeping you, and you can play like 3 times a week, and then at the end you can get like one of the skins or
Oh,
something, you know? Like, it doesn't have to be they don't have to make a bunch of them. They can just make like 1 or 2.
Terry is literally roasting chat left and right. What the? All
Just
right.
on fire today. It's actually
Oh.
on fire today.
All right. Yeah, I mean that's true. That's fair. Like that's true that they don't need a lot. Like if they introduce 1 or 2 every season, I think that's more than enough probably. Like it'll take people a while to grab the ones they want already, I imagine. Right? It wouldn't be like difficult. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Well, let me see. What does the poll say? What was the poll? The poll was 110 people said yes, 31 people said no. Granted, there's a big portion that didn't vote, so I don't know the full thing. But I mean, from the people who voted, right? Obviously, I guess the people who are willing to speak out. So if the rest of the people not willing to speak out, you lose your rights. So aside from that, I will say very heavily with an RTA shop, yes. All right, let's move
wait,
on.
quick question.
Go for it.
Can I add to that? Would
Yeah.
you say that mock battle rooms, do you remember back when they had that random energy event for RTA, but you could just bypass it and make a mock battle room with your friends and play a mock RTA, and then you would still be able to get the 80 energy? Would you say that doing a mock battle or maybe doing like a 2-for-1 sort of mock battle thing could be in lieu of queuing into an actual RTA if people are more like insecure about their rank or whatever, or just like don't feel like ranking? Could that count into a point system potentially, or no?
That's actually a good point to bring up, because so the thought about this is I feel like pushing people to do the normal standard ladder RTA is probably a good point of this, because you want to get the people who are sitting, that are really strong, that are sitting in bronze and placements and stuff like that, to get out of that, so that the people who are actually, because this is one thing this is one thing that came up really hard, really high. Same for normal arena. Actually, we should talk about this later. But like low rank people get matched up a lot of times with people who are really strong, aka like Terry bullying people, right? Like I think that's one of the things, like being able to shift people out of the lower ranks would be a nice benefit to this, allowing people who are a little bit weaker to actually get a bit of actual gameplay value in, I feel like.
But like what chat says is correct. Like they are saying the point of the shop is to push people to play RTA. So if you introduce like a mock battle, being able to earn currency, a lot of people is gonna abuse it. So
Yeah.
a lot of people is just
No,
gonna
I know,
reach the
but, like-
rank, AFK there, and just do mock battle all day, every day.
But
Mhm.
I mean, like, to like a lesser extent, because I think it's like doing mock battle is kind of a smaller step into doing RTA if you're like not that comfortable. I feel like doing a mock battle could get you more interested in queuing into an RTA, but I don't know.
I think the mock battle thing's not a bad idea, because there's people that don't have RTA experience and they want to like test the waters and go into their friends to see if their units are good or not. But maybe they can do that, but like just make it capped. Like if you're trying to farm currency for an RTA shop, just make it capped, like so and so points per week. Then
Okay.
everyone can do that, but it can't be abused.
So it's like less points from normal standard ladder kind of thing.
I think it's just like you can like say like a skin, like hypothetically they have an RTA shop and you get skin chromas from there, and each skin chroma is like 1,000 points. And then say you can get points from the mock battle. What if they cap it at like 50 or 100 points a week? So I think
so that
it's
people who
more
are
fair.
spamming RTA battles can get those easily.
From the mock battles. If you're trying to like get points from mock battles, you can still get points from it, but it's just capped so people don't sit there and abuse it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's actually that could be valuable. So switch, rather than that, you cap up the mock battles instead. Okay. The one thing about non-ranked matchmaking I see in chat, people asking about that, is we don't know the statistics. We don't know how many people are playing RTA. If there's not enough people queuing for RTA and you split the queue even more to ranked and non-ranked, then you'll get even less people queuing within the two queues now, which I don't think it's good. If there's not a big enough population playing, then I don't think splitting the player base would be good. So yeah, okay, that's a fair point. We'll see. I do hope they do something with that. I feel like they have a lot with that they can actually work off of.
But it's someone right, Yang, trying to stay woke.
What time do you sleep, bro? Wait, what time do you play Apex till?
5 a.m. my time. So
What
I
the
got like 6 hour nap. It's actually like that. I'm not falling asleep, chat. What the fuck?
Okay, not
I
bad.
have
Not
an
bad.
energy drink to stay awake too.
Yeah, okay, both of you. Okay, all of you
We're
guys are.
degens.
All you guys are degens.
Just following your footsteps.
All right, third topic here. So this one was something that there's a few things mixed in with here. So collab discussion. This one should be quick, right? Just what would you want for collab? So there's a bit of a fun topic. Aside from that, afterwards we'll talk about an issue where having too many limiteds in the future, what that would cause. So let's start with collab discussion first. What do you want to see as a collab? One answer. What would you want to see? Anime, movie, celebrity, anything? You know, what would you want to see?
So celebrity? Gabe, you have some weird fetish.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, there's those dumb games with
Yang.
Ariana Grande in there, right? Like I don't. It's weird, but I don't know. Like, we got Kizuna Ai, right? You know, there's weird stuff, right? I'm just saying. I don't know if you want it. You know, like I don't even know who.
Gabe want Ariana Grande in game
I do not
chat.
want. I don't even listen to Ariana Grande. Okay.
Low key telling us that he wants it, guys. He wants it.
All right, Yang. What do you want, huh?
Me, anime. All right. No
Okay.
shit.
What anime specifically?
Specifically.
This is where chat judges your taste.
Oh, this is hard though. Like, this is actually hard. But of course, One Punch Man.
One Punch Man.
I want Moomin Rider in the game.
We already have Moomin Rider. That's Crow. Crow's Japanese voice is Moomin Rider. So when he horses someone, he says
God.
Justice Crash secretly.
Oh,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
yeah, me
God,
too.
she's out here spitting the facts.
Dude, Fartpancakes like analyzing each character, like just remembering everything. What the heck? Okay, all right. All right,
How do you
dude.
guys know?
All right, what about you two? Fartpancakes, Terry.
I think anime makes the most sense because Epic 7 is, advertised as play the anime. So it would make sense to make an anime collab, unlike, a celebrity. Because for Final Fantasy, when they did that Katy Perry, Ariana Grande thing, I thought that was really odd because it's mostly like video game nerds that love Final Fantasy and, it makes sense to go with like other video games or anime to collab with, but instead they have like IRL celebrities, and that just felt like really out of place. So I think Epic 7 would flow really well with an anime collab, and I was thinking My Hero Academia would be really good because it's a really popular anime, there's a lot of people that love it, and it could bring more exposure and popularity to Epic 7. And I was just thinking of like, possible units. They can start off with like, if they put in Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, Deku could be like the earth unit, Bakugo could be the fire unit, Todoroki would be the ice unit, and then later, if they do another collab, they'll have like ML5s and
Dude, she already like has fantasies about this in her head.
It
like
would be dope,
before
would it
the-
not be?
Going
So then
crazy.
they'll have All Might as the ML5.
She has a
the
10-year
light-
plan.
The 5-star light
Flexibility.
unit, and then All for One would be the 5-star dark unit. Don't you think that would be dope? It would be.
I can't say I didn't think that far into it. It's a cool idea, but holy, you actually like
But-
straight up thought about the characters and everything already.
'cause when Epic 7, when New and Mashu was doing a stream the other week, I think it was last week or something, they were doing the Raid My Hero thing.
Yeah.
And then on the survey, it said like My
Raid My
Hero
Hero-
Academia. Yeah,
Yeah.
it straight up said My Hero Academia on it. But then the actual stream was just Grade My Hero. So then I was really confused, thinking, why did the survey just straight up say My Hero Academia?
I think it was like, yeah, I think it was
So-
rate My Hero Academia. So like, I don't know. It was like a slight like, I don't know if they're trying to play on words or whatnot, right?
Subtle hints,
But like,
yeah.
or if it was a subtle hint that they cannot tell us. We don't know. We don't know. You know, maybe they're just, you know, having. Maybe it was just a joke, right? But yeah,
It could be a joke, but it could be a hint. Who knows?
You know,
I think it would be cool if they were hinting at that. And then I was thinking in my head, if that was a hint to a My Hero collab, I think it would be really, really good. And then, you know, they did say, like, oh, the next collab's going to be with a popular IP, but we don't know who that is.
mhm.
So, you know, My Hero is really popular. I don't see why not.
Irreta, do you have?
I don't really watch a lot of anime, to be honest. So I would.
Well then.
Sorry to your weeb chat. So I would say honestly, whatever's popular would probably do the best for the market of Epic 7.
Okay, that's fair.
So
That's fair.
either that or honestly, what if they stole some like Genshin characters?
No, that's illegal. Hello.
I mean, if they stole.
Not stole, but like
I wouldn't mind if they took some waifus from there, but you know,
I don't know.
Collaboration? Maybe, huh?
Genshin collab would be interesting because Genshin did pop off for quite a while. It is very well known as a game itself, so it would grab more people into the game. I wouldn't be against the Genshin one. I would still prefer anime, I think, but yeah, that's an interesting idea. All right, so let's talk about this. Limiteds. So this is a point that I brought up in the past two. Terry brought up again. So it is something good that we should talk about and see what your thoughts are. Right now we have an okay amount, right? We've rerun Guilty Gear, so we still have the same limiteds there. We've got a few limiteds and whatnot. But what happens when we have too many limiteds? Right? It's gonna get to a certain point, especially with the 10-year plan, right? Where there's gonna be too many limiteds. So, you know, let's say, give or take, right? We get another, 20 limiteds in a few years, right? Also depending if we're still playing the game or not, right? Where the game has gone. But, what happens? Do you rerun limiteds every month now, right? Are you constantly rerunning limiteds, or do you do the group summons with like 8 different characters on there now, right? What happens in that situation now?
And I think because it's a collab unit, I don't think they can just bring it out as they like, right? I believe
Collabs
there
too,
will be
right?
a-
Yes.
Yeah, it will be like a certain timeline that they only can release it. Right? I'm pretty sure. So
Mhm.
having too many limited collabs might not be too beneficial for the game,
Mm.
And especially like collabs are meant to be special, right? It's meant to be kind of like limited in the sense that, oh, you're playing the game at this time, then you're entitled to it. But then if the characters that they release is actually something like let's take for example DZ and Baiken, they are kind of like influencer in the meta in a sense, right? Like with DZ you can do a beast easily. With like a Baiken you can one shot Banshee easily.
Mhm.
So having this kind of influence and being limited, it might actually hurt the player base in the long run, in the sense.
That's a fair point. What do you guys think?
I think if they bring too many limiteds into the game, it could be bad because it's just really overwhelming, especially for the F2P people that want to collect them when they can, but they can't get everything. I think the rate that they're releasing limiteds now isn't that bad if they're doing it like every 3 months or something.
Yeah.
But if it's something you can look forward to rerunning every single year, then it kind of like makes it lose its like specialness to it, Because you like we thought SSB was only going to have one banner, but then she came back last year. So then that was everyone's chance to get her. And she's one of those limited units that is like really like in the meta. She's super OP. She's used for everything in PvP, PvE. And then for everyone that's coming in now that want her, but they can't get her, it kind of gives an advantage to the people that were around to have her.
Yeah.
And then people can just say, oh, this summer she's coming back. Don't worry, you can just pull for her. So if there's like an expected timeline that you can expect these units to always come back, it makes the limited feeling feel less special. But if you never know when they're going to come back, like they did with Cerise and DN, because they didn't have a rerun banner until now, it makes this coming banner with the group summons a lot more special and different.
I'd just like to point out that I see Yang reading the chat and then laughing and then blushing because I see someone say like, "Oh my god, Yang's so smart," and then he's just chuckling to himself as Pancakes is talking. So narcissistic and rude of you, but
Andrew is actually so dude. This is savage. Yeah, he says Yang's so smart, and then afterwards he says, "Wish he was this smart in Guild Wars." So it's like a compliment into a roast.
That says the guy who draw twice this Guild War, huh?
Whoa!
And then blame on RNG.
Wait a minute. This is ending up being a whale roasting each other like internal debate.
That's what it usually looks like, though. That's the behind the scenes.
Just want to point it out, because of Luna, we couldn't get the top 20 border for Guild War. Just gonna put it there. I'm just gonna put it there.
Wait a minute. Yo.
But Yang also hit a dead tower, and we didn't win the Guild War because he didn't realize he hit a dead tower, and I don't know why, because I'm pretty sure it tells you, hey, this tower is dead. You sure you want to hit it? So you gotta play fair since Luna's not here to defend himself.
True. Okay, Andrew.
Anyways, what was the question?
Right, limited, yeah.
Yeah, limited. Yeah, I agree with what they said. I honestly thought there were a lot of limiteds this year already because there was like Hufine, and then there was the run back with SSB and Guilty Gear, and I feel like all of that was really back to back, and I think I was pretty lucky to have already had some of the characters. Like I think I had SSB and I have Cerise now, so I don't feel as overwhelmed. But I think in not having any of the limited characters, like imagine not having Dian, Cerise, or Landy. It's like I really need all of those characters. And so suddenly having a group banner like this forces someone to potentially triple pity, but in the span of 2 weeks, which I think is also kind of toxic for the game. And so I don't think that having so many limited heroes is all that great. I don't really see the point, like for like Hufine, for example, I don't really understand why she's limited versus like some other characters, because I don't know, she doesn't strike me as someone who's like really good or like really special in some way. And so like having her limited and then having to run a limited banner the next year and say, hey, it's like limited, I think takes away a lot from the game. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I really think like maybe one a year would be more than enough, especially since they seem committed to doing the reruns every single year of every single thing that's come out so far based on previous trends. So limited kind of loses its meaning when maybe it's like annual.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I think one of the things about that I feel like is like this situation is slightly alleviated, not by a lot, because like there's also like pros and cons with the group summon, but it is slightly alleviated so far in this situation because they're doing this now for newer players. For older players, we talked about that. It was kind of like a hit or miss thing for some people. But aside from that, like I do agree, having too many limit. Not to mention, like we also have Fairy Tail this year too, so we actually have quite a bit of limiteds. So yeah, I think that's one of the issues there. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in with the collab. You can get the skin of S10 at the end of the RTA season for 110 tickets. Did they announce that?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did?
But yeah.
I see.
I think it's cool and bad at the same time, because for newer players like me that want the skins, like, oh, now's my chance to get this skin. But then for the older players that actually played through RTA and earned that skin, it's kind of a feels bad moment, you know, because it's not really exclusive anymore, and it's
Yeah.
not really kind of like bragging rights. Like, hey, I played the first season of RTA and I got this skin, and now it's special. Kind of
Yeah.
like going back to League, you know. When you play the rank for that season, you get that exclusive skin, and it's never coming back. You can't buy it. And now, with S10A coming back out to, or coming into the skin shop, people, if you have money, you just buy it and you're good. And they'll never know if you actually got into Masters that first season or not.
That's fair.
Also, I feel like it's only one skin, so you're only it's not like you get a bunch of prestige things. You get one frame, one skin per season. So then taking that away and making that available to everybody, it's like there was only so much that was prestigious to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah, I do agree because like I think one of the things is like it would motivate a little bit more people. I think this is going back to like the previous topic, right? Of how like I'm a little worried. It kind of feels like Guild Wars all over again, right? In Guild Wars, there's very few guilds still competitive because of the fact.
Yeah, not us.
Like there's very few people still competitive in Guild Wars because there's nothing really to it. You can be in a top.
Yeah.
You could be in a top 10 guild,
no.
you get the same amount of stuff. You could be in a top 500 guild, you get the same amount of stuff, right? So it's like, it's reaching very casual. And I'm worried at a point where, with RT, right? Like, more and more people are going to lose a bit of interest because of that, right? Okay, so people are saying in chat, right? Getting Masters isn't prestigious. To a lot of people in chat's point of view,
some people.
To a lot of people in chat's point of view, maybe not, right? But there are a lot of new players, right? Getting Masters to them is a good amount of achievement to them, right? Obviously, that's why we're talking about, the skins being, you could have more unique skins for higher tiers, right? That kind of stuff, making it a little bit more unique for that. I feel like that's one of the things, like, for a lot of people, like, I'm a little bit worried about their losing motivation if, aside from the ranking thing wise, right? Obviously, in RTA is still better because there's a ranking system, right? That still leads to motivation and prestige there, but yeah. All right, let's move on to the last topic. This one's a bit of a general, broad topic, right? So this is just kind of like a general thoughts kind of thing, right? What's an update you'll want to see this year to the game itself, right? Whether it's like a quality of life change or like something new that could be implemented. This is a really random topic, so just
super small thing, but I hate talking to the NPCs in NPC challenge. They say the same thing every single time.
Fair.
I hate that. I actually hate that. I didn't do NPC challenges for like the longest time because that was so super duper triggering. And then I was like, okay, I just need to get over myself and just talk to the NPC every day.
True. I do agree. Going into it once, it gives a dialogue. Going into every other time, giving the dialogue again is pretty annoying. Yes, I do agree with that.
Well, on the quality of life thing, right? Where's the time 10th penguin? We need the 10th flashback in a row. We did that. That's so good. Not having that is kind of bummer. And also, we need a receive all reward for expedition. Like imagine you've done every single poster, like you've done 6 posters, you have to click into 6 posters differently to collect the reward.
No, in adventure, the worst one is the adventure and side story one because you can't press it. You can't press the thing. That one should give you all of them.
Oh, from the quest thing.
Because like the expedition is slow, right? So like the expedition is you need to do at least 4 to get one thing, right? So it's not as bad. The side story and adventure one is freaking painful to have to click through every single time.
Okay.
Thanks, Luna. I am really smart.
That reminds me, when I was watching a Dyrus stream the other day, and when you're collecting those quest things, and you have to collect them one by one before you get the big quest reward, he was saying like this is one of those things where they need to add a button that just says collect all. You know, it's like he was saying something about games are evolving nowadays, and if you're gonna have a bunch of rewards to collect, be able to click a button to collect all, so you don't have to sit there and go through one by one and just be tedious about it.
That's fair. I think we'll see more of that. I think Receive All, we'll see more and more of that, considering the fact that I was very happy they finally put that thing in the freaking Epic Pass. God bless that.
Oh yeah,
So
that
like,
one as well. True.
Like they finally put that in,
good.
so I imagine we'll probably see more and more of that. But yeah, I think there's
can
definitely.
I go also?
Go.
About okay, so I guess in terms of just changes to the game that are not quality of life, I think for me, I'd like to see more 4-star RGB heroes be viable because I was just thinking, like, super random thought that popped into my mind the other day, but I was thinking, I was like, how many 4-star RGB heroes are used, like, period, and not foddered, like, not used as just pure fodder? Because I think a lot of them are actually really well designed or really interesting characters. Like, for example, Dominial, who's literally like the GM Dominial or whatever, like cool looking character. No clue what she does. Haven't ever seen her been used since like I started playing the game. And like Normie Zerato looks really cool. No clue what he does either. So a lot of like these characters, I don't know, especially when you're newer and you don't necessarily have access to as many characters, I think it'd be nice to get excited when you roll a certain 4-star character. Like it's nice to, you roll like, I'm trying to name another one. Like you roll Maya and you're like, oh, Maya, like I heard she's one of the better 4-star units. Like maybe I can build her for now. So I think looking into those more instead of looking specifically into all of the 5 stars could like help the game a little bit and also diversify the meta a little.
True.
Like maybe revisit some other kits.
True. Rose and Fire Shredder are used a good amount. Rose and Fire Shredder are a little bit more on the top of the list, to be honest, for players. Yeah, I do agree. That would be a nice change, to be honest. Might take a little bit of reworking and buffs, but that would be nice.
I agree with Terry on that, because like there's units like Corvus, Kawazu, and Kawana. No one ever used them. And like when you pull on your daily summon or something and you see the gold sparkles, you're like, yes, I'm so excited for this. And then you get cucked by a 4-star, and then a Kawazu comes out, and you're like, man, I'm so disappointed. What the heck am I gonna do with this guy? Like no one gets excited about pulling 4 stars. You know, they're just as bad as 3-star units.
On that, actually, going through that topic, now that you bring up Corvus was good. At one point, he got buffed, and he was like OP. He was really good, and the community cried that he was too strong. And he got nerfed, and then now he's shit tier. Okay, he's not shit tier. He's not really. People don't use him anymore again.
He is shit tier.
Okay, well,
just be honest, right? He's shit tier now. No one uses him anymore. It's so weak now.
Okay. Anyways, yeah.
Back in the day when I wasn't even playing at this time, but I always hear references to it. Back when like Tierio was good, Elson or something. Like
yeah,
maybe just having those like a few, maybe like 3 stars. Not obviously not going to be like ML5 worthy, but like some that are decently worth keeping to like mid to late game. And then definitely more of the 4 stars, because I agree with Pancakes. Like there isn't a single time where I see a 4-star hero come up where I feel excited. Like I immediately just the gold sparkles just shifts to disappointment when you find out it's a 4-star.
That is true.
That's just really sad, honestly, because I think in a lot of games, like 4-star characters are really good. And I think every now and then you get like 1 or 2 that are more viable than a 5-star character even.
We do have a lot smaller pool of 3 and 4 stars are used, but we're getting more now, thankfully. Like A-Raz, right, being a little bit better, like with the special change, like he's like meta. We have a few, right, but they're very specific niche cases, right? That is one of the things, right? That there's very few I can think of that are important to people, and then even if those are important, they're like, oh, you would only use them specifically here or here, whether it's specific to PvE or PvP also. So that's also one of the things. I do agree with that. That would be nice. That would be a nice change, to be honest, to the game itself, especially for like Actually, we were also talking about this, like for like newer players when like Dyrus first started the game, right? Or like Lakari, they were talking about how like I feel like revamping the beginning of the game would be good now too, where like the selective summon, like I don't know about chat, you guys didn't think about this, but like to me, Lakari was talking about I think how like it wouldn't be that bad, it wouldn't be that detrimental, and I wouldn't care either if people got a free 5-star selector out of the selective summon pool, or maybe increasing the pool for the starter now, rather than having to just reroll it. I mean, the reroll system is cool and all, but like giving them an extra one or giving them useful units to get started in the game quicker. Because right, a lot of the times now is if you're a new player, you don't watch Twitch, you don't watch YouTube, you're someone who just plays the game, and you pick the wrong unit, your progress in the game is halted a lot now, right? So if you don't go for Sigrid, you don't go for like right now currently I think it's like Ravi, right? Those two units help you a lot. Vildred is still good, but like Sigrid helps so much with Wyvern 13 if you don't have like if you don't pull certain units, right, your Wyvern run won't nearly be as consistent. Not having certain artifacts will make your Wyvern run not as consistent. So then it's very difficult for people to get into that, which I feel like it would be nice for new players, especially with the influx of new players. Granted, there's a lot of them who thankfully watch Twitch, right? So they're asking like, oh, what do I do here, right? So there's all the people that they can ask. But yeah, that's one thing that like would go back also to having viable 3-4 stars. You know, if more 4 stars were viable, you know, they did a little bit more, maybe like buffed a little bit more, right? Like Water Coley. Like I want to use the damn unit, but I don't know. I don't think she's usable. The only time I ever win with her and I use her is in level 5 fights. So
True.
yeah.
No, I agree. I think if they were able to change some of the RGB 4 stars, I think maybe giving a guaranteed 5-star and 4-star to start with would be nice. Because I think giving 2 at random could be kind of hard because there's a lot of RNG and then there'll be a lot of like restarting accounts. So either giving them that selector or giving them like 5-star plus 4-star guaranteed, or even honestly giving them like 5-star hero plus 5-star artifact is like totally fine at this point.
Yeah, I like feel like for me, new players getting 1 or 2 5-star characters with an artifact like means nothing to me. Like player base wise, I don't care. Maybe well to Smilegate, right? So like that player base wise, we don't care probably. I imagine most people. Smilegate wise, yeah, okay, maybe losing revenue, but yeah, at least it helps them get players into the game. You know, if we're talking about revenue, right? At least it'll get people in the game. You know, they're not gonna feel like they're shafted, and you know, it'll maybe possibly bring up revenue or keep more players in the game. That's why I feel. Granted, I don't have any experience with this business stuff like this, so I can't really say. Right.
I mean, yeah, what you say is correct. Like, if people would have to go through the hassle to reroll just for like a good starter account, like halfway rerolling, they might give up because it's all RNG, right? You can't decide like, oh, I'm gonna roll a good starter account in like what 10 rolls, that kind of thing. No, it doesn't work that way. But then if you give them like a selector instead, hey, they can actually just start off the game right into the game and learn about the game. And then when people learn about the game, they will like, you know, fall for the game and then will play a long-term game, you know. So in terms of business size, I think it's a better idea to give them the selector, you know, so that people interest in the game is gonna grow instead of, you know, just like before they even start the game, they already give up rerolling. They are not even gonna play the game because of the rerolling part. So yeah.
I mean, Careless is pretty certain there's a reason why no gacha ever has done that. I would like to. I mean, if there is a reason, I would like to know why, right? Because I mean, that's why I said I don't know much enough, right? If there's a good reason for that, like, okay, I can understand, right? But like right now, personally, as a player, as someone who's looking at this from my point of view, I don't see a reason why it's not a good idea actually. And if no gacha game has done this, right, would it be bad for them to be the first ones to try? Honestly, I feel like there probably is gacha games that do this, you know. So I just give them. I don't know. Summoner's War. I don't know if their characters are useful or not though, but I don't know. Yeah.
Someone in chat. Oh, sorry. Someone in chat said earlier. I can scroll up. Sorry, it already got flooded. But I think someone brought an interesting point of. He said not every player comes from YouTube or Twitch, so their marketing is mostly focused on that. So how would you appeal, or maybe like how would you help out players who aren't necessarily, you know, like when you first start playing a game, your first instinct isn't always going to be, oh my god, I need to watch X Sky King on Twitch to find out like who to start with. You know,
Yeah.
like they probably you know, for a lot of people, like for me, I don't play gachas. Like I don't come from a gacha background, so
Mhm.
this was just the first game. I just like played because my friend was like, "Hey, just play this with me." We had like no clue who to start with, so I
Yeah.
think having more guidance or more like navigation from Smilegate, like maybe telling them like, oh, these are like the characters that you can pull and these are like what each one is good for,
Yeah.
can kind of help them make that decision and hopefully like not end up restarting your account if you do get really invested into the game.
I
So I
actually
think
kind of
that
do
was a good point
agree.
that someone brought up.
You know what would be nice? I feel like if they gave out a certain amount, okay, okay, I just thought, you know how they do those, like, they have those weird stove things, like, oh, best tips and advice kind of thing. If they did something like that with, like, you know, people making tutorial videos or whatnot, right, like that, and then or like a quick guide that was like well organized, they could feature that in game after, you know, having certain characters that people can get. So it's like, oh, with these characters you can refer to this guy, this is the direction you should go, right? Like giving more guidance in the game so people aren't kind of like lost, right? So they're not like, do story and then what do I do, right? It's like I think I do agree with that part. Like it would be nice for guidance because people who don't watch Twitch and YouTube would just be mindlessly going through it, right? Yeah.
Mm.
Adventure.
Oh, also have another.
Yeah, I guess Adventure Path, Rico.
Going off that, I saw Richo made a comment earlier about like if people aren't looking up information on progression, are they really the people that care about getting progression? Because you guys were talking about like, oh, for the newer players, if they did this and this for the newer players, it'll help them progress easier. Like, you know, pulling these certain units and it'll help them get through the game. But then what if these are the people that don't look up things and then they just don't care about the progression, they just go through it as it is and then figure it out on their own?
That is
There
kind
could
of
be
true.
people like that too. So if people cared about progression, I feel like they would look up professional guides and, you know, get tips from there.
That is kind of true.
I was going to say to that point, I think it's kind of hard, honestly, to tell whether or not you care about a game until you play it for a tiny bit. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say I download a game thinking, oh my God, like, I'm going to play Epic 7 for the next 6 months, you know? Like, I would download it thinking, oh, like, I'm going to play this for, like, today. And if it's enough to keep my interest, I'll play it for this week. And so on and so forth, right? So I think, like, being able to maintain someone's initial interest is really important. And kind of like putting them on the right track instead of like, oh, I just started off with complete garbage and then, like now I can't do anything in the game. So like while I do agree with that, I also do think that like most people don't go in thinking, oh my God, like I want to be an end game player in this game. They want to kind of test the waters of the game first.
Okay.
I think that's also a good point too, because some like people nowadays they can lose their interest quickly. So you want to be able to get people's attention and interest within like the first 30 minutes. You know, you don't want to take too long for that. Which brings me to another point. Like, it's a good idea that they buffed Free Spirit Tyria because she's a free unit for everyone to use. And even if you get cucked and you had shitty selective summons, you know, all's not lost because you have your farmer, your free farmer with all the free molas and the free gear, and she can carry through you to get through most of the PvE stuff until you get more summons.
Yeah.
And then a nice thing I think they do nowadays is giving everyone the free gear sets to start off with, and that helps you to get your units going if you're not even farming Wyvern or any other hunts yet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I will agree. The Free Spirit Tyria, I think, was a really good change. It actually really helped, like, new players farm if you didn't get the right character. So regardless, you could still farm. I think that was already a really good step towards that. So I think it's already pretty good. You're right. It's just I heard some people bring up that point where like I think it's different mindsets, right? For people who are really competitive, who want to get into the game really quickly and want to build and like min-max really quickly, like they care about like knowing what to do if they didn't know about Twitch, YouTube kind of thing. And then for the like people who didn't care, right? Like Rico said, for people who don't care, they're not gonna care anyways. They'll just go ahead and do whatever they want, kind of thing, right? So I think it's fair. Okay. All right. I think I'll probably.
I have one more quick thing.
Oh, go for it.
If we
Yeah.
still have time, but if
Yeah.
not, it's totally cool. I was just gonna say, I don't like characters where there's only one of a character who has a specific function. And like I kind of came across this when I built like a one-shot Banshee 13 team, but I was using Euphine because I don't have Baiken, never pulled Baiken.
Yeah.
And it's substantially harder, let me tell you, with Euphine, to the point where it's like there's already like so many factors of RNG to it, and it's kind of painful. So I don't really like that they have characters, especially limited characters, but like just characters in general that fulfill like one very specific role, and they don't create a lot of counterparts to that are more accessible.
I think there's a lot of like there's budget ways to do things in this game. Like when Terry brought up the Baiken thing with the one-shot teams, it is hard to gear Euphine to do that, but they also have Irvelin. If people happen to pull Irvelin, you can make a one-shot team with that too. But I think that's like his only good point, you know. On paper his skills look good, but then in reality no one's really using him for PvP or anything. And then, you know, for a lot of these one-shot teams, like for Banshee and A13, you need like Vivian. But if you don't have Vivian, you can still use like Vildred and Kizuna Eye, for example. And then for other units, like say you don't have Iseria, you have budget units like Rima, or if you don't have, you know, Furious or something, you can use Terranor Guard. If you don't have Sigrid, you can use Alexa.
Okay, that part is fair.
I mean, with Wyvern though, they've done way more with building accessible units for Wyvern than with any other hunt.
I feel like one shot is something that you don't ever look into until you're like a lot further in the game, and that's when you're like min-maxing. I feel like.
Agree, but then who does Banshee otherwise? You know what I mean? Like Banshee is like pointless or like a lot of the other hunts I feel like are not really worth doing unless you're one-shotting, but maybe that's just also from like an endgame perspective.
I mean,
I think
a lot of people misunderstood the game, right? It's supposed to be a progression game, right? No one start off the game by one-shotting every hunt, you know? They have to start off somewhere. So you are gonna farm hunt the slow way first. Everyone start off the slow way, right? And then eventually you progress slowly, right? Making your hunt run faster and faster, right? A lot of people just skip the process of like progression, and what they want is, oh, I see people do one shot here. Hey, I can do it. Help me, you know?
I'll be honest, like
it doesn't go that way, you know?
One shot teams, I feel like from helping a lot of like free to play people, I've always suggested, and I've talked to them a lot about that, is like making a one shot team is not worth it for free to play people because of the fact that they burn through way too many of the resources way too quickly, and they're left with like nothing. Like it's good that they can burn through all that, but I don't see a point of that actually. And then for people who are gonna
the only good part about one shot is just during hunt buff. That's it.
Yeah, maybe like you can farm faster, right? That's like the only benefit to that. Like it's nice to have a one shot team if you want to farm fast for a very brief duration, but like I feel like it might be something really end game. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. It'd be nice to have a character for that, but I'm like indifferent to that one. I feel like because I don't even one shot A13 anymore, or I haven't bothered building a team for that. I run 20 runs of A13 every time I go to sleep. That's literally all.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
Yeah,
same thing.
It's just like, I'm going to bed. All right, A13 20 runs. Good night. 3 hours later, probably done or something. I'm asleep. All right, we're Gucci. It's just slow progress. But,
no, I agree. I meant more so like that was my example of like a character that does one specific thing much better than any counterpart characters would. Not even necessarily for hunt. You know what I mean? Like, like I just think, and then also like to Pancake's point, like it does make a lot of sense, but at the same time, like all of the characters are like, oh, you use Vildred or like Vivian. There's no like, or I guess Rima, but like, we're like really, like there's not a lot of.
Well, if you don't have Vildred, you have Lena. She's budget Vildred, you know.
Well, now there's Free Spirit Tierra, which is like also part of that budget farming.
Wait, does the Free Spirit Tierra have AoE skill?
She does.
Yeah.
Her AoE is actually, her buff was really good for her. Like if she kills, she can just keep going.
But what Yang was saying about this game being about progression, I think is a good point that a lot of people forget. You know, with a lot of gacha games like this, it's about progression, and the longer you've been playing, the more rewarding it is because you're getting more resources, you're getting farther, and then the longer you've been playing, obviously, you're going to be ahead of other people. So your progression is going to be a lot better. So I think it's more rewarding for all the longer time players rather than just being new and then you just wail on the game to catch up and be good.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I think.
Yeah, anyway, I got distracted by chat, but hey, I want to mention something like, the recent Arc Shadow release. They are releasing more like a new debuff thing, like new mechanics. I like that. I'm actually looking forward to more like new mechanics coming into the game.
Yeah.
So that people can play more strategy wise.
I would like that new mechanics. Like the seal is a new thing that's good. I mean,
the seal is good.
I mean, to be honest, all of us expected it to come eventually. It's just rather when, right? Especially coming from Summoners War players. Like, yeah.
Sealing passive, it's something like not everyone can do, but it's a nice addition to the game, right? Like, I hope they release more better units that can seal.
Yeah, I agree. All right, yo, Andrew, I'll message you. Next podcast, I'll have you on. We'll talk about Cleave. All right. All right, that's fair. I think I'll probably end the podcast here. I think that was pretty good already. Not to mention Yang is being bullied by chat for not rat jamming. So.
Dude, chat is going to have the rat jam. I swear to God, like my head's gonna move accordingly at the end of the stream.
Dude, I'm trying not to laugh too.
Dude, half the time I'm like trying to listen up, but every time I look at chat, I'm like, oh fuck, I can't take it.
Dude, Yang's actually like the designated e-girl who comes in and is just here for like his face. Like he's just not saying anything and he's just smiling and then laughing and like he's like the face.
It's why I said, right? It's X-Sweet
every time I say something, it makes sense. You know?
X-Sky King times 3 e-girls. Well, wait a minute. All right. Well, that's fair. Thank you guys for joining me on the podcast tonight. Appreciate you guys taking the time. And it was also very last minute because I was I held off on finding people. I was lazy. Aside from that, all of you guys are streamers, so I'll put all your socials down in YouTube video. And you guys just shout out your channel before we end off. So Yang, Irreta, Fartpancakes, just go in that order.
Okay. Yo, thanks, Gabe, for inviting us to this podcast. It's my first time appearing in podcast. I have no idea what to prepare. Gabe messaged me like 12 hours before the podcast. I'm like, sure. And then I'm like, wait, what do we do on podcast? So anyway, if you guys are keen, right, I stream on Twitch. JYangs is my handle. I do have a YouTube, but it's not very updated. But yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Irreta?
Oh, okay. Thanks for having me. It was really fun. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Irreta. It's just my name down below. Honestly, didn't know you had a YouTube channel, so I'll be subscribing.
you mean Yang, right? Yeah, obviously Yang.
No, I mean you. I didn't know you had a YouTube channel. Like, I don't follow you on YouTube.
Anyways, Fartpancakes. Yeah, you're next. Yep.
I'm in the same boat as Yang. That this is my first time on a podcast. Don't know what to prepare. But if you guys want to find me, same thing. Twitch.tv/Fartpancakes. I don't have a YouTube, so that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And with that said, peace out.
Bye, chat.
Bye, chat.